Welcome back. I'm Horlicks and this is my Build the Delorean issue 26. So let's have a look and see what we got. Okay, here we go. This is issue 26. So surprisingly, for a small little bag, there's actually quite a lot to do. So let's get started. We've got the silencer, rear and the front, exhaust pipes, connector left, connector right, some boots, and then an assortment of screws. We've got AM, DM, APs, EPs and FPs, which we've all had before. So let me open this bag. I'll just move the camera a little bit. There we go. I'll open this bag of goodies. And then let's start. So now I assume these are the same. Yep, they are. Okay, so the first step, we need to take the main part of the exhaust. Okay. And let me see. Okay, you see in the side there's like a D shape which corresponds with the end of this exhaust pipe, so that goes in like so. Could be a little bit fiddly. It pushes in and then that gets secured inside with an AP screw. So let me see if I can do that. You may have a restricted view because it looks like it could be a little bit tricky. So I think the best thing to do is if I get the screw through first. It's quite difficult. Oh, there you go. Is that straight? Yeah, that's in. Okay, so then just from the inside, as you can see, just trying to tighten that up. So there we go, and then it should look a bit like that. So we've got the end of the exhaust pipe attached with the screw inside there, and then we've got exactly the same for the other side. So same system. Goes in one way, so I'm going to put the screw through like I did the last one and try and get that started. It's very, I don't understand quite how they expect you to easily do this part. I mean, it's sort of going in alright, but no. No, mine's failed, it's still loose. So, well, this is obviously live, and one mess up. So, what I'm going to have to do with that, I'm not going to do it at the moment, but I'm going to glue that on. That's the only way, really. I'm just going to have to glue that to the exhaust pipe instead. So I'll leave that for now, and then I'll move on to the next part. Right, so with FP screws, we need to attach this part of the silencer. On there, like so, and then just put them in with 2 FP screws, which I shall do now. Hopefully there won't be any issues. So that's one side in. That's still rather loose. That's it, one. So there we go. So that is that part done, minus this bit of pipe, which I'll glue on afterwards when we know where it's sitting. Okie doke. So now we need to fit the silencer at the rear of the engine, inserting the exhaust pipe into the corresponding holes. So here we had the pipe that ended, and then obviously you've got a large part there. So that will go in like so. I'm just trying to see though. How that fits. Let me just have a look. Secure the left side of the silencer to the engine with an AP screw. So let me just sort of, I'll show you here, but I'm not sure how this is going to work because it doesn't line up very well. There you've got a screw hole, so the exhaust fits in that hole, and lines up. Let me just see. It's supposed to fit in that hole like so. It's a bit fiddly. Top of that goes in that little recess. But then in doing that, the other side doesn't line up. And I'm just trying to work out why that is. So bear with me a second, guys. Maybe it's this screw here. a bit more of a tighten. Let's see how that fits. So, because I don't want to screw this in and then force the other side and then have another broken piece. Oh, there we go, look. Okay, that's sort of slapped in now. Okay, so where we were, AP screw. Let's put that down a minute. Let me get this in while we can. So just in the back here, I'm going to fit an AP screw in there like so. And we're going to do that very gently. And then the other side, we want an AM screw. Let me just get these screws out of the way. We're going to get a pickle otherwise. So we want an AM screw for the other side, what I was trying to get in, and that hole lines up with the hole in the metal bracket that we fitted a couple of issues ago. So I'm just going to pop that in. I was just trying to find some grip. Okay, so that's that part in. So that's what we've got at the back. A huge exhaust system. Okay. And then the next part, I think it looks like it's just a, if I can find the part. Oh, here it is. Sorry, it's so small. This little part here. Pushes into these two holes at the top here. So, like that. And like that, but mine isn't fitting very well. And again, I'm not quite sure why that is. Let me just loosen this off a bit. It'd be interesting to see if anyone else is having these little line-up issues. Yeah, no, it doesn't want to line up, so I shall probably dab a bit of glue in there. Okay, and then the next part, we're going to be, looks like mounting the engine into the actual chassis. So we're going to need DM screws for that. So let me just clear a bit of space and get these screws ready. So I'm going to get the chassis. So what it's asking us to do is at this end we need to flip this upside down. I assume push that in there like so. Yep, like that. Then this hole lines up in the middle here, and then we've got two, as you can see down there, 1, 2 and 3. They're going to go in with DM screws, so I'm going to fix them in now. And hopefully there won't be any issues. I'm going to use my old trusty screwdriver for this. So I'm just going to put one in loosely. Two, and then the third one just up here. Give that a tighten. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Well guys, look at that. We now have the engine in the chassis. I can still get to these parts that I'm going to glue. So yeah, I need to glue, as I said earlier, I need to glue that piece on there that just push fits, because that's not quite right. And obviously I had a bit of a mare with this other bit of the exhaust pipe there, so I'm going to glue that in as well. Now I can tell you now, this is really heavy. So the next part we need to do, we're going to leave it on its back for now. So we need the trap rod ends that we did in earlier issues. These parts here we did in earlier issue, and then what we're going to need to do is put a boot on each one of those, another boot like so. Okay. And then with an EP screw we're going to fix them in. So let me get this right. So that slots in. Sorry guys, it's going to be really hard to see, isn't it? So you'll see behind the wheel that'll just slot in. Don't know if you can see that. That just slots in behind the wheel, and then that gets lined up with this top of this part here, and then that gets secured with a, let's see, an EP screw. So let me just grab out an EP. And I'm hoping it's going to behave. Ha ha. So that goes in there like so. Oh, okay, right, there's two of these. It doesn't tell you which side's which, but they are very slightly different, because at the top they're both the same way, but one's at the top I don't know, it's really hard for you to see that, but one's at the top end and one's at the bottom end. So for this, at this angle, this needs to be nearer the top to fit into that. So if you sort of follow what I mean, I don't really know the easiest way to describe it really, but you should be able to see anyway. When you put that in, you want that to fit snugly. Now if you try to put the other one in, it just doesn't fit right. And I can't really show you because it's too bulky, my workstation, but you should be able to tell which one is the right one by the way it fits. If it doesn't fit snugly, it's not the right side, and try it on the other side. That's all I can really suggest at the moment, because there's no way of really identifying. So yeah. And then what we're going to do is screw that in like so. Okay, that's one side done. And then all we have to do is slide the boot down and then pop the boot over the screws. We're just trying to see if that's directional or not, and it is. You know what it is? That's another fault. Okay, I'm going to unscrew this again. Sorry guys, it's really hot in here today. And one side of this rubber boot is wider than the other, so obviously the wider part needs to face the screw end. Okay, so let's try that again. Put that in there like so. Reattach that screw. Okay, now we can pop that over the screw and over the part on there like that. Okay, it goes over, see that little lip, that rubber bit goes over there. Okay, so that's that bit done. And then obviously we want exactly the same for the other side, so I'm just going to check I've done, yeah, so the wider part facing the screw hole, that goes into the centre and attaches on there. And again we want another EP screw to attach that to the engine. There we go. Again, I'm going to pop this up and sort of screw it, twist it so it fits on there like so. There we go. That's that part done. I hope that sort of makes sense. Okay, and the next part is to attach these two silver brackets with AP screws. So I'm just going to got these two here. Now let me have a look and see. Where it's wanting these to go. Right, each end of the exhaust pipe here, you've got a hole there, and then obviously you've got the same for the other side there. And we've got two brackets which are different. So we need to attach these with that hole. You've got a peg one side, and then you've got like a hole the other side there. Now obviously, if you've got your car the right way up, so this side will fit on like that, so the neat edge is facing out the back of the car. Yeah, so that will go on like that. Okay, so I'm just going to screw that in. I'm going to screw one in at the back, so then I can sort of show you how it's supposed to fit, and it's quite so it'll fit like that basically, with the bit pointing down and then the nice edge out the back of the car. Okay, and then that's the same for the other side, which will go on like so. So I shall screw that up. There we go. So it will look something like that. One side and the other side. Okay, so that was it for issue 26. Sorry if I blabbled a bit, it's really hot in here, and yeah, it was a little bit confusing. And it was difficult. It's difficult to explain on the video, you sort of, without you being here and playing with it, you know. So I hope you didn't get too confused with those drive shafts, but it's pretty straightforward. You'll see what I mean when you know, those of you that are doing it, when you come to fit that, you'll feel if it doesn't fit quite right, so then you know just to swap them over, because they are directional. So okay, so there, that is it, and I'll see you soon for issue 27. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, that'd be great, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.